Oh my God, can you imagine this? This is not recording. Like, have I...
What have you got if you haven't got love?
Hello tipsters and tricksters, welcome back to another vintage tips and tricks video. It has been quite a while since I have done a video from my grandmother's 1930s beauty book. If you haven't caught any of the previous videos, I will link them up above, but I haven't done one for a while because I couldn't find it. It was in storage. I couldn't remember if I put it in storage or if I took it to France with me, and I was really worried that I had lost it in the move after we left London. So I thankfully found it the other day when I went to storage to pack for France, and so I figured it was time. So if you're not familiar with the book, it is a, like I said, 1930s beauty book that I inherited from my grandmother. It is called How to Attain and Retain Beauty. It was made in 1935 and is an Australian edition. You can find them sometimes on eBay if any of you are looking. I've only seen a couple, but they do pop up now and then. So today is going to be a selection of outdated tips from this book. Let me know if you like this video, and I can always make one that has some surprisingly forward-thinking and even feminist ideals about it. So if you want the counter to this video, let me know down below. But before we get into the first of our 1930s tips, let's hear from today's video sponsor. It is one that I'm quite excited about because it is June's Journey. I don't know if any of you guys know this game already, but I love this game. I have been playing it for ages. It is a hidden object mystery game with a captivating detective story attached. It's got a little bit of Miss Fisher vibes if you guys love that series, Australian series. It has a diverse array of characters and a cool storyline so that the game keeps you interested. It's not just about finding things on the screen, but also you're following the literal journey of June Parker as she tries to unravel the mystery of her murdered sister. Very intriguing. Plus, there is also the island, Orchid Island, with a manor house and all these areas that you can unlock and decorate how you like. I'm not just saying this for the sponsorship. Like, I am on level 46. Look, level 46. So if this game sounds like something fun that you would like to get involved in and play along with me, please download the link in the description down below and check it out. Let me know if you do download it. You can also have little friends on there and send each other plants to win like little gems and coins and stuff. So make sure to find me. A big thank you to June's Journey for sponsoring today's video. Let's get on with these outdated vintage tips.
Let's start. To give you a little bit of an idea of what this book is all about, I'm going to read you just the first paragraph of the introduction. Almost every woman in the world has at least one wish. For over 50 centuries, it has been the deepest desire of the female heart to make the best of herself. Great as is the gulf of space and time between them, the Australian girl of the 1930s seeks beauty, charm, and attractiveness of person, with no less, and probably no more, ardor than the Babylonian beauty or the Egyptian queen of 5,000 years ago. Of course, the main goal of every girl is pretty much only to be beautiful, to find a man. It's our main aim in life. Let me flip to my first bookmark. This is hard to do one-handed. I injured my hand, guys. I got my hand caught in my friend's dog harness, and the dog then spun around several times and trapped my thumb and practically twisted it off of my hand. It really hurt. So now I have this sexy thumb splint. So I'm trying to read the book with the thumb splint on. All right, so this first tip comes from the exercise section of the book. And I quote, "Regarding the question of exercises for women, there is a diversity of opinion. There are some who hold that women should not indulge in physical jerks, while others maintain that the improved physique of the modern woman is almost entirely due to her interest in things athletic. All, however, would seem agreed that it is not desirable for a middle-aged or elderly woman to try to compete with the younger woman in the gymnasium, and that girls over school age should consult a doctor before undertaking any strenuous physical training." I forgot to book into the doctor before I started running training. I know that the 1930s was a time when athleticism and sport for women was becoming more popular. I know in my previous video about the underwear of the 1930s, I have talked about the fact that going from the 1930s to the 1940s, women were much more active. They're also engaged in more labor and more work in the workforce. And so the underwear and undergarments had to change to allow women more flexibility and movement. So it's not surprising that this book is talking about it being kind of a new concept for women to be doing exercise, and also that the suggestion is that women should be careful doing exercise, I guess, because in general, it wasn't like strenuous exercise was not something a lot of women did in the general population, or at least in Australia and the UK. Well, the concept is so bizarre to me, and the idea that like women need to be very careful and should probably consult a doctor first. It's like, okay. Be careful, ladies, don't go out into the world lest thy break. All right, let's find the next one. The next enlightened gem. So this next part is about beauty in recreations and work. It says, complete care of the form and lines of the figure ought to affect every action of a woman's life if she is aware of herself and her potential beauty. It does not matter whether you are an overworked housewife surrounded by an eager, young family, a wage-earning spinster of uncertain age, or a young heiress. The housewife must make a graceful exercise of reaching the top shelves for her saucepans. The spinster can sit elegantly and hold her elbows beautifully as she types. How do you hold your elbows and type at the same time? And the young heiress is expected to step into her limousine with balanced grace and beauty. So whatever you do, ladies, the most important thing with any action in your life is to be graceful and beautiful whilst doing it. Emptying the bin, do it gracefully. Scrubbing the toilet, do it with elegance and pizzazz. I mean, I can understand if you're someone that cares about the way that you are presenting yourself to the world and how others perceive you, that you might take into consideration your posture and your movements and the way that you carry yourself when you're around others. But I mean, come on, when you're cleaning the house, really? No, no. Okay, so number 3 is from the Fundamental Aids to Beauty, Hints for a Business Girl section. It is up to every business girl to appear fresh and easy to look at for the whole of her morning or afternoon session of work. Surreptitious powdering and lip penciling with frequent recourse to her vanity bag mirror does not create a good impression, however free the atmosphere of an office may be. With many girls, this is an entirely unnecessary practice, a matter of habit. And it should be her aim, having once finished her makeup for the morning or the afternoon, to feel that she is immaculate. That's kind of empowering, I like that. I'm not too sure about the importance of to be looked at-ness, especially in the workplace. I mean, I just don't see how that has anything to do with your ability to do your job. This little section finishes off well as well. Money spent on beauty aids in such careers is really an excellent investment. For more than ever, success depends on an attractive beauty ensemble. Of course, how can one be successful without beauty? This reminds me of my first full-time job where I was the manager of my section, but none of my bosses, who were all men, knew my name. None of them knew my name. Not even my nickname. My immediate boss knew me as B, but he didn't actually know my whole name, my real name, or what my last name was, even though he was my direct line manager. He also gave me a promotion from casual to full-time, and then after he'd given it to me, came in and said to me, you know, usually the females of this company personally thank me after I give them a promotion. And I was like, is he seriously asking me to sleep with him? Like, A, at all, and B, after he promoted me? Like, this guy's an idiot. So my response was, thank you. Oh, I like this one. This one is about modern living and charm. And it's talking about when you're out socializing and indulging in a beverage. Be her physical beauty ever so alluring. A girl who drinks cocktails in couples and quartets and dashes off whiskeys and sodas one after another is threatening every fine foundation from which women's charms spring. My goodness, all alcohol is fattening and will make the muscles flabby if continued over a period of years. It weakens the fine muscles of the abdomen, thickens the neck, and brings about chin and cheek sagging with greater rapidity than many years approached with good sense of good food minus alcohol beverages. What chance has charm to blossom in the presence of these dreaded physical conditions? The cocktail conviviality undermines her physical stamina, gravely taxes the nervous system, and leads on to habitual irritability and bad temper. Ooh. Women are extremely sensitive to alcoholic stimulants, and if they respected the wisdom of the medical fraternity, they would not even sample them until after they are 25 years of age. Even after sampling, the only drink for the really fastidious woman should be a good, simple French white wine, and only a little of that should be taken with dinner. The aperitif and whiskey habit among women stimulates an artificial enthusiasm, and in time dulls the natural emotions. Well, there you go, ladies. You can't possibly be charming or beautiful if you indulge in alcohol. Half a glass of white wine for dinner with you, otherwise nip it in the bud. I wondered where my thick neck and sagging cheeks were coming from. This next section is great. It comes from the personality and charm section of the book, and this chapter is entitled It Power Over Men. The trite saying that man is the hunter and woman the hunted is about as accurate as so many other of the wisecracks which we have inherited from the ancients. Men are hunters because women lay the snares. From their relative strongholds, women are, as a rule, stronger influences than men, though men have stronger bodies and more developed minds. Primitive cunning to outclass the male, despite his superior strength, still lives in women today and is unfortunately a winning card in her sex appeal and other lures over men. Stronger bodies, I mean, that's just a fact. We know men have stronger bodies, but more developed minds. I mean, if you don't let women receive education, of course men have more developed minds. But at this time, women were allowed to attend university, so that's just a load of bullshit. I just had to put this one in there because we all know how annoying it is to walk down the street and have particularly middle-aged and older men tell us to smile. Smile, lovely. Smile, beautiful. Give us a smile. Next time, try some of that baffling remoteness natural to the woman with feminine come hither in her eye. And use your head to make a nice distinction between being charming to a man and yet being poised and exclusive. He likes a woman to be a little baffling, to have something hidden behind her smile, something which entices him to give chase. Be aware of him and of yourself. Listen politely to his conversation and be nice to him in endless small ways which do not particularly reveal yourself, but will flatter him. Not in any of the humble services at first, but in personal contact, in your appreciation of his opinion and judgment. Remember to act dumb and smile. Wow. 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 I can see the whole thing like Mrs. Maisel where she's getting up before her husband and doing her hair and makeup and everything and then lying back down in bed like she just woke up like that. This kind of stuff was a real thing. Like there are tips in here that I've definitely had my grandmother and even my mum say to me and I'm just like. Number 8 comes from a section entitled Don't Fold Your Arms. Do not hold the arms so that the elbows stand at angles on either side of your waistline. It is very widening for the waist and untidy looking as to carriage. The arms should always be held in towards the body and in such a manner as to suggest that they have character of their own, neither limply hung at the sides nor stiffly bent. As loops hanging from shoulder to hips, they spoil the line of the figure, but it is graceful if the upper arm from shoulder to elbow take a line backwards. You can't just stand there and be comfortable. You've got to be thinking about the angle of your elbows and whether they're in close to your body and have a line that goes backwards. Oh my God. Like this, look how thick this book is. Like you've got to memorize everything in this book. A lot of it is just about what to do when you're standing around talking to people. Ooh, we're nearly there. Second to last. I mean, I'm intrigued. Do any of you think that these are helpful? I don't know. Maybe some of you feel this is still very relevant. I feel it's very outdated and rather sexist, but that's just me. This section is beauty and daily life and is speaking about motherhood and pregnancy. And it's talking about making sure one is kept fit and trim and beautiful whilst pregnant. Oh my God, can you imagine this is not recording? Like, have I...
I'm so sorry about the sound, guys. I didn't press record on my phone, so apologies. But now I'm using the microphone that I've had attached to me the whole freaking video. All right, so returning to beauty during pregnancy. It says, another necessary item for beauty and motherhood is attention to the breasts. Firm, rounded breasts have for centuries been recognized as essential to feminine beauty. If you have an A cup, you're screwed. We have only to recall the statues of the famous Greek goddesses in the great centers of the art of ages. Oh my God. Nipples ought to be scrubbed with a soft nail brush for a little time daily. As they become less tender, a harder brush may be introduced. Some 2 months before baby is expected, begin sponging them daily with cold water. This sounds like it's more about making sure that you still look good for your husband after you've had a baby than it is for the betterment of being a mother and breastfeeding. You know, don't prepare for the child, prepare for making sure that you're still beautiful for your husband after you have the child. And lucky last, again from the childhood section, it says, for the mother who has just given birth, immediately after childbirth, a light milk diet is best, with toast, bread and butter, some fruit and a few vegetables. On the third day after baby is born, fish or chicken may be added. I mean, you just pushed a human out of your hoo-ha. You're probably exhausted and I would imagine quite hungry, but nope, you're going on the milk diet. Yeah. Okay, so there you have it. I feel like the motherhood thing was the most messed up out of all of it. Like, you're already doing something that I personally, the concept of giving birth and being a mother is really daunting. And then the main thing you have to worry about is whether or not you have round, supple breasts and whether or not you get slim really fast after giving birth. Not making sure that you're ready or that you're okay during the childbirth process, or that after you give birth, you focus on looking after the child. Oh, no. Being beautiful for your husband is far more important. Okay guys, so that is the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, if you want to give it a thumbs up and comment down below, let me know what you thought of the video. That always really helps me. If you want to, you can always subscribe to the channel. I also have a Patreon if you guys want to check it out. There is plenty of exclusive content over there. I do more of my like vlog content, going more into the behind the scenes of things. Is like how to shop for and care for vintage. We have a monthly movie club where we watch an old film together and then get together on a video chat to discuss, and plenty more perks. Thank you once again, of course, to June's Journey for sponsoring today's video. If you're interested in playing the game, please do click the link down below in the description. Come and solve some murder mysteries with me. Otherwise, I will see you in next week's video. Bye.